Hi everyone. Okay, here in Malaysia, currently right now, we have the restricted movement control order. I think that's what you call it. Some people call it MCO. We can call it MMCO, something like CNCO, as in which stands for MMCO would stand for Malaysian Movement Control Order. It's like a partial order, not like a complete lockdown like what other countries around the world, some other countries like Italy and I think China and maybe currently the United States are facing. So today's the second day. Yesterday was the first day, which was the 18th of March. Today's the 19th of March. So how the coronavirus statistics shot up was because there was like a Muslim gathering held at a mosque, of which I think about 15 to 16,000 people attended, and apparently 500 coronavirus cases was detected from that gathering. And the sad thing is, a lot of people, apparently when, let's just say, there's one coronavirus suspect from like the place of detection is being sort of like diagnosed with the virus, everyone within that area has to be has to go for testing, sort of thing, or which people aren't going, which I think because they're sort of like afraid, or maybe they don't even know it, because apparently the symptoms don't actually persist. So a lot of people who have it, they don't know that they have it. So what they are actually carriers. And the dangerous things about carriers is that old people, or they can sort of, they're very contagious lah, and then not necessarily through touching or droplets or whatnot, but basically like, not touching another human being, but let's just say if they even touch, like, for example, a common place like in a restaurant or a public transportation, other people could still get it. So, but all I can say is, judging from my observations and from what I've observed in the media, the numbers have actually slowly, gradually increased, as in like from 200, and like today it's like 200 from last week, it became to like 900 today, and then yesterday it was like, I think 800 or something like that. So it's not like, I don't know, it's quite, it can be bad, but I don't know, I have faith in Malaysia. Well, I don't know. I don't know actually what to say, because a lot of people are having like anxiety attacks and stuff, like as if it's an apocalypse and stuff. But I guess it's because this is something new in this country, and looking about what's going on in the media, like in the social media, like in Facebook and Instagram and stuff. Malaysians are actually very sociable people who like to go out, like for picnics, and they like to go to the park, and they like to go on holidays, and they like to go back to their village or their hometown, and they like to go to each other's houses and have parties and meet people. So it's which is nice, but not so nice during a pandemic. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just gonna sort of like share about my own personal experience. Okay, as regards to this MMCO. Okay, so we're supposed to like practice social distancing, as in like if you go out to a public place, you're supposed to be like, I think 1 to 3 meters away from the next human being, like, or an arm's length apart. But I think arm's length apart is still like quite near. So, and then ideally you're supposed to stay home. So yesterday during the first day, like I live in like this an area of, I think, about there's like 50 houses, and I think there's about, let's just say, 100 residents. Yeah, 100 people all together, like 100, yeah, human beings. So they were, and quite a lot of elderly people, and they were getting like quite emotional and stuff. So and then I was like, there's a lot of like false messages and stuff in the WhatsApp group. So that's one thing that everyone has to be careful nowadays. So so I was kind of like told off by like one of my neighbors for like not following the news, and I was like, yo, the news is so depressing because it's like just like corona 24/7, you know. It's like, it's unhealthy. Yeah, so I kind of like, so today, the second day, I kind of like didn't contribute as much, and I went out. Okay, I went out to get some air, and where I went was not a lot. Actually, it was only like, I could only like see 3 people, and we were like 100 feet apart from each other or so. And the people were all wearing masks, and yeah, so, which is cool. I mean, I like it, privacy. And so when the MMCO, the controlled order, was being enforced, I thought like, hey, you know, like it would be like pretty cool or something, because I've always sort of like been a homebound person. I love staying at home. Like, home is like the best sanctuary, you know, because you're at home in the comfort of your own home. But then it's like, okay, it depends what you do. So basically, I like to go online, and then I just realized that it's like, because I like to follow people and see what everybody's doing. But with this stay at home or house arrest or confinement or whatever you want to call it, and then you don't really see people like having fun or going out or meeting people or enjoying themselves, it actually can be quite depressing. And it's something which I think nobody would wanna be in the position of doing, you know. Like, I mean, yeah, it's, and then some people were saying like, oh, you know, like it's a 2-week break, it's like treat it like a holiday. And I'm like, okay. So I think it's basically maybe the mindset, you know, the mindset. Because if you always look inside the news, like, oh, you know, 2 deaths, and then like people misbehaving, like going out when they're not supposed to, and then, you know, people getting angry and uptight, and, you know, and then there's like all these sort of like threats and this hotline where you can call to report people and all that. Sounds more like a military coup than anything anything, not even the slightest bit of like nothing good out of it, like, basically. So so overall, just want to share my experience, and